let's have a look. So it's another gioco piano. This opening that it's become the kind of go-to opening for the elite guys, hasn't it?
And going in for this setup with bishop c5, of course, in setup d3, there are all those crazy lines that white has got with knight g5. But that's a different theory. We see the Italians so many times at top level, at the elite level, at all levels, really. And now this is one idea with rook e1, allowing knight g4, hitting that pawn on f2, which I always would be happy to get with the black pieces. Very often what black does here is also try and get knight h6, move away the king, and go f5.
Let's do this and see what happens. So you like king h8, right?
I like king h8, so that when you play h3 to push my knight away, I'm going to go knight h6, and I'm going f5 next. So
Exciting.
we have it on the board, by the way. Rook e2, he is going for king h8. So this typical idea when white doesn't play h3 to stop knight g4, it always gives black this opportunity to go f5. We're going to be seeing this. Meanwhile, Danny, I asked chat who they're rooting for between Anish and Magnus, and lots of Anish for the win in the chat here.
And well, we got another rook on a2, this time somehow overprotecting here. And that is on the board. So d4 has shot out the bishop on a7 for the moment. This is what I call the belt and braces approach. He's making absolutely certain that nothing is going to happen on f2. Well, this is fascinating. Interesting that he didn't develop the queen's bishop, but that's how he's bringing the queen's rook into play here. You know, there's a kind of classic exchange sacrifice here, but I don't see that there's a good follow-up because... Okay.
Very interesting sacrifice immediately. But maybe to start with either queen g6 or knight g6. Queen g6 has a direct threat now.
That certainly looks more responsible. So if I play, I'm assuming that I'm not going to take here because of the sacrifice.
Wow.
So I'll play knight g3, right?
Yeah, knight g3 looks a lot more reasonable. D takes e5, you take rook f3, and then you think. You don't even blink before taking on f3.
Sure, and there's a pin here, of course. Now I'm still eyeing the sacrifice just for fun. Listen, let me do it, and let's find out.
Let's do it.
Okay, and then I'm going to put the knight back here.
I really don't want to take on e5, even if I end up winning a pawn with white here, because activating that bishop on a7 is a very scary thought.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
That was actually very nice prophylaxis, playing rook a2 to cover f2. Actually, white's queen can enter very quickly, and it feels like white is kind of coordinated enough. So, all right, I think the exchange sacrifice looks a bit bonkers.
He goes for knight g6, and I think that also makes a lot of sense. It's also a preparatory move. When you take on f3, maybe your knight is going to jump to h4 at some point, and also eyes the square on f4. Knight f4 is a big threat as well. I like the move knight g6.
Just going to play knight g3 and just say, all right, you know, if you want to take it, fine. But actually, white is pretty well coordinated here. Now, again, there's no immediate threat from black, so I wonder whether it's time. Can we throw in a queen d5 maybe? Let's play queen d5, and that hits a couple of lumps here. Okay, I'm going to be very brave and take this. I mean, I can't imagine that anything like this will happen, but you know, they're protecting f2 very, very well. I have a feeling that Magnus is actually okay here. I mean, when I say okay, I mean more than okay. Yeah, interesting. Magnus has played c4. Now that means that he's definitely didn't want to allow that his pawns to be broken up. Fascinating move, actually, because it does mean that he can actually close that bishop off with c5 as well. Very interesting idea.
Can't black now just sidestep with the queen, go queen f7?
Okay. Yeah, now there's knight g5.
Not so scared about it for some reason.
Not so scared. Okay, then I'm going to play it.
Let's go for it.
You provoked me.
I just provoked you by saying that.
Definitely.
All right, we got to move away with the queen. Where do we go? So queen f5?
Okay, let's have a little look. So queen f5. Well, I've also got knight g3 to push the queen away again. I do want to play queen h3. Come on. I've got to threaten the check.
I was just hoping that I can get knight f4 in now.
Is that possible? That if you can, then yes. Well, I've got to take it.
You've got to take it. I take it with the pawn.
Yes. Now, this one is attacked. So, what, knight e6, I guess? Well, we're having fun here. Who's better and why? I have no idea.
And Black decides to go for none of these complications. He doesn't go Queen F7. I think Knight G5 was definitely an idea there. And especially after Queen F5, there was Knight G3. Instead, Anish chooses the move E4, hitting that knight on F3. But because the pawn is still pinned, White doesn't need to save it just yet. He goes Knight G3, putting pressure on the E4 pawn.
Whoa, Queen sacrifice!
Oh
Queen sacrifice! Here we go. We've got a big
This is
check.
fun. This is fun. Are you not entertained?
Oh, this is great stuff. And I think Anish had to do this actually, because I'm looking at this position. I'm thinking, well, hang on. This has gone really badly wrong for Black, but he's cut the Gordian knot and sacrificed his queen. And now, don't forget, our beautiful bishop on A7 might miraculously come into the game. Wow, this is scary. And Magnus down 2 minutes. If the king
and then another check on H4. Don't forget Knight H4 and picking up that pawn on F3.
That's I hadn't forgotten it at all. It's really, really scary. But what is going on? Because maybe you can get away with this. Because can we take this knight? I mean, this requires some serious calculation.
Also, there was Rook F3 at that moment. And instead of all of that, Magnus decides to come back with the queen to D1. He says, I'm not going to allow your rook to jump into E1. And Anish immediately blitzing out the move, Knight H4, keeping the pressure going there, really. Now he's targeting the G2 pawn. Knight takes G2, Rook E1 would be a big threat. Also, F takes G2 in the air. How, you know what, Danny? I don't even care what the eval bar says about the position. I think this is a nightmare for Magnus.
Yeah, this looks really scary. Of course, the move you want to make is Rook E2 to challenge, but with the pawn on F3, absolutely impossible. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of fun for Anish to play, and it looks to me like it's turning in his direction. Absolutely. It's a square. So,
but this allows Rook E1 check, Danny. Rook E1 check.
Rook E1. Oh, is this?
Is it not over yet? Knight takes H2. You can pick up so many pawns. You can give a check on H2 as well.
Take on D4. Okay, it's already very, very good.
And just take a look at the players. Anish is so tuned into the position right now. Complete focus there. He knows that this is a big moment. He can feel it. He can feel the pressure that he's built. And of course, he takes on G2 and big threats on the board. Rook E1 is coming in. Rook E1, Queen E1, Knight F3 is the idea here. Queen G4, you go Rook E1 and King H2, you just queen and that's over. Oh my God.
Yeah, wow. So he's...
What? What?
It's gone. Rook E... Okay, let's just here we go. So takes Rook E2.
Makes a lot of sense. So it stops Rook E1 from coming in. You trade off the rook and now...
This looks so scary and... Magnus is now thinking queen takes.
He doesn't have time though. He's down to 24 seconds and knight takes F2, knight H3, queening that G2 pawn. Danny, I think Anish is going to do it. I think he's going to win this game.
I think so because if Magnus takes here, then this endgame is of course completely, well, it's winning instantly.
On the spot.
And yeah, knight H3 is happening. Wow, what a turn up. Bishop E3, Magnus is fighting. But
Bishop E3, but how are you fighting? Knight takes H3, King H2.
It looks terrible.
But where's the win, Danny?
Okay, we can.
And is there a win?
I think we can actually just do this. Let's have a look. Here takes, here bishop takes, and I think we're going to win the queen. Rook F2.
But you go King H1. You go King H1.
King H1 instead. No win. Still looks, I mean, listen, we've got rook and a bishop and 3 pawns, and the king is in big trouble, but maybe nothing immediate. Let's have a look. This is on the board, by the way. This position is on the board. I have a feeling there is something here. I mean, worst case, this is not a bad situation to be in, just making a queen there, by the way.
I'm not finding anything better than that because you can't go knight F3 because the G2 pawn is hanging. The knight on H3 is threatened currently. So you don't have time for a move like... Do you have time for a move like Rook E8?
Rook E8. So I take...
I was hoping to get in G1. Oh, but that doesn't work. I'm not counting correctly. You're just a piece up at the end, no? Or no?
No. Okay, so let's do this. Takes, and black is 2 pawns up.
But Danny, let's keep up with the live board because the players have got no time at all. He decides to go for your line. He queens with G1, and I think
Tanya, I think Rook E8 was a very interesting option actually. However, I mean, well, as I said before, this looks absolutely playable for black, and I would suggest probably winning as well. Oh, he's gone something
knight
else.
F3 check.
He's gone knight F3. He's gone knight F3, and the king has come back, and queen E7. Also,
and Danny, I saw the evaluation bar jump straight back up to a level game after knight F3. I think knight F3 was a big mistake by Anish.
Okay, because now has he got knight? Has he got knight G?
Oh, knight A6, knight A6, G8, queen F6,
brilliant.
And it's a draw.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh my God. Magnus survives, and take a look at that. That's a very relieved Magnus and a very disappointed Anish. He was so close to getting this one. What a game.
That is a fantastic save from Magnus.